Well, good day, hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome back to the Living With series, where we bring scripture to life. In our previous video, we were looking at Genesis 19, and today we are going to do a full analysis and breakdown of this chapter. And trust me, there's a lot to unpack in this chapter. So let's get into it. The chapter opens up where the two angels that was with God and Abraham in chapter 18 arrives at Sodom. How fortunate, isn't it, that Lot was sitting at the gate and that he was the one who met them. Lot greets them and insists that they stay in his house for the evening, showing hospitality and urgency. Hospitality in the ancient world was equal to protection because Lot knew that the city was dangerous. Now, Lot was not just sitting at the gate by chance. I mean, what is the chance that out of the entire evil and corrupt city, that he was the one who was sitting at the gate at just the right time and just the right moment to meet the angels? That's because God arranged circumstances ahead of time. It all aligns with God's plan to rescue Lot. Later on, we see that men of the city surround Lot's house and demand to abuse the visitors. Now Lot was willing to offer up his two daughters to be done with as the evil men pleased, as long as they do not harm the two angels. Firstly, it shows that the men of Sodom wasn't just corrupt, but also immoral, violent, with aggressive wickedness. Now you might also ask, how could he offer up his two daughters to the mob? Did he not care for them or their safety? In the ancient Near East, hospitality was sacred. A host was expected to protect guests at any cost. Lot thought protecting his guests was the number one priority. And if he can give the mob something else, they would forget about the men. But the Bible does not approve of this action. Secondly, the environment in Sodom shaped Lot. He chose to live near Sodom, and then he decided to move into Sodom. His thinking was distorted, and his own morality was compromised. The moment exposes how far Lot has drifted morally, and how corrupt Sodom truly was. It looks like Lot didn't care for his daughters. His ability to love rightly was damaged, and we see that consequences later on, when his daughters acted immorally in the cave. The angels tell Lot to flee. Lot first hesitates. He then went to his son-in-law, but the son-in-law thought that he was joking. The angels had to physically pull Lot, his wife, and his daughters out. The Lord was merciful to him. So why was Lot spared, if he too was morally corrupt? Or was he just less wicked than those around him? Well, Lot was saved because of God's mercy, not because Lot was perfect. Lot's rescue was directly connected to Abraham, and not Lot's own righteousness. In Genesis 18, Abraham pleaded with God for Sodom. Lot is saved because someone stood in the gap for him. The Lord was merciful to him. Lot was hesitant to leave, but God pulled him out. Lot's actions toward the angels also shows that he was not fully corrupt. People get saved by God because God is faithful, and sometimes because someone else prayed for them. So Lot fled to the closest city that was out of the danger zone. And as soon as Lot entered the city, God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. God rained down fire and sulfur. But Lot's wife disobeyed the command not to look back, and she turned into a salt pillar. She was longing for that old life, and she was judged not just physically, but spiritually as well. You cannot escape judgment while still clinging to what God is destroying. After fleeing, Lot lived in a cave. His daughters, fearing for a future, got him drunk and slept with him, and both of them got pregnant. This shows the lingering moral corruption from Sodom, and also explains the future enemies of Israel. So, my final word on this. Sin has consequences. and you will be judged according to that. God rescues Lot because of Abraham. It is dangerous to compromise. Lot lived in Sodom, and that shaped his thinking. His decisions reflect moral confusion. But he was saved because Abraham pleaded for him. Isn't it just poetic how in Genesis 13 Lot chose the best land to live in, and he ended up living in a cave? He was equally wealthy with Abraham, but by the time he reached Genesis 19, he had no status, no wealth, no city to live in, just isolation. He went from abundance to emptiness due to his choices and consequences. Choose by faith, not by sight or short-term goals. Follow the Lord and don't try to do whatever you think is best. Don't try to do everything out of your own power. Trust in the Lord. Where you choose to plant your life matters more than what looks good in the moment. Okay, guys and girls, I hope you learned something, and I definitely learned something from this chapter. And this is my opinion about this chapter. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so that you can get notified of when the next download comes. Our following video will be Genesis 20, and it will be for the Bible section of the series. So until next time, everyone, have a great week, be safe, and God bless all. Cheers.